says
No
1987 right here.
Just hoping we don't see any water. Wow. All right, whoa. Here is our makeshift fuel system. All right. That's got to be the nastiest fuel cap I've ever seen. That is 25-year-old fuel. Okay, stop. Hey guys, welcome back to Legit Street Cars. In this video, we are gonna be resurrecting a 1987 5.0 Mustang GT that's been sitting for about 25 years, and it hasn't ran, it hasn't moved, except to right here in this parking lot on a flatbed. So this time I haven't bought this car myself, but my good friend Eli has, and you guys may know Eli from Legit Street Cars classics like I fixed my SVT Lightning engine for $3 and then gave my dream car to a high school kid for free. This is that high school kid, except you're not in high school anymore, are you?
Nope,
I graduated. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So I gave him a Trans Am. He has a 93 Formula and he transplanted the engine. And it's going pretty well, right? You're getting there?
Yeah, I mean, it's a little rough right now because we're doing a OBD1 to OBD2 swap, but we're getting there. I mean, everything's in, and we just need to fill the fluids and
cool. And you're a glutton for punishment, so you ended up picking up an 8750. Yeah. So tell me a little bit about the car. How did you come about buying this? What's the story here?
So I'd seen this car rotting away in a driveway near my house for years, and I finally approached the owner by knocking on his door. And he agreed to sell me the car for $2,500 with a clean title and 2 sets of keys.
So what's the story? Like, why did it sit so long? It looks like a pretty nice car, actually.
I'm really not sure, but he said that he bought the car out of California in the early 90s. The car was in really good condition back then, so he reset the trip and only drove it 83 miles and then parked it in his garage. I think he thought it would be a collectible. For some reason, he then decided to park it outside and it sat out there rotting ever since. So my goal is to restore the car and just have a pretty cool stock Fox body to cruise around. It's actually pretty rare, as I believe they only made a few hundred T-top cars in 1987. I believe 88 was the last year of the T-top Mustang.
All right, Eli, what do we got under here? You've probably opened this before. A little 5.0. I got a little 5.0 too.
Oh yeah?
You've seen my
that's right.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry. It's my wife's. It's my wife's.
Your wife's. That's right.
So wow, this does look kind of stock. Did these things have stock headers back in the day?
Yeah. So the original owner told me that these came with stock tubular headers, and that's the reason he was looking at Camaros too, and he decided not to go with the Camaros because, you know, they had the Camaros had exhaust manifolds and these have tubular headers.
That was it. That was it for him.
I
He
mean,
really liked those. That was the deciding factor. So
which is weird, but
it is a little weird. This does definitely look bone stock, and it has definitely been sitting for a very, very long time. Just hoping we don't have rodents that have chewed through too many harnesses here. I hope not. So anyway, at this point, our initial goal is to get this engine running, and we're going to go through all the proper steps to ensure that we can start it for the first time in about 25 years-ish, maybe even longer, without destroying anything. You never want to just crank over an engine that's been sitting forever because the rings can get frozen in the cylinders. So anyway, first things first, let's blow all of this crap off.
Let's do it.
All right, so Eli had the car towed to his work parking lot, so we have this gigantic open parking lot to work in, and I brought a 100-foot extension cord so we can power some stuff up. So here we go. I gotta say, I've worked on a lot of old cars, and this doesn't smell like rodents at all. Get out of here. Guys, I'll leave a link down below to this little blue blower thing. My friends at Chicago Auto Pros gave it to me as a present, and I love it. All right, so here's what the engine looks like after we blew it all out. And I gotta say, if we do get this engine running, I think this would be an excellent candidate for an engine detail because it's all stock. You never see this. This could look really nice. But anyway, right now we wanna make sure this engine turns over. First things first, Eli, let's go ahead and check that engine oil. What do we got? What do we got? Ooh. All right, not bad at all. All right, so we're gonna start by pulling the spark plugs, and because my SVT Lightning is down with engine issues, my Tesla is basically my pickup truck at this point, so I've brought a whole bag full of tools. I have probably a quarter of the tools that I have at my shop in this Sonic tool bag. This is a great bag, and I brought everything else, wiring harness repair kit, lights, a jack, you know, everything. And we have the fuel sending unit out of the SVT Lightning. It has dual fuel pumps, and I created a standalone fuel system in case the Mustang's fuel system doesn't work, which is highly likely, so we can at least run it off of this for now. So this car has 143,000 miles, and I saw a little bit of rust there on the hatch, but being from California, if this thing is fairly clean and rust-free underneath, and because it has a clean title and everything, $2,500 is a steal. These things in good condition go for, you know, $10,000 to $15,000, something like that. I've even seen pristine low mileage examples go for 30. So I think Eli got a phenomenal deal on this Mustang, just like all of us can get a phenomenal deal by signing up for NordVPN. NordVPN is one of the original virtual private network companies, and they offer endless features you just can't get anywhere else, like my favorite, content unblocking. Check this out. You'd think Friends would be available in the United States on Netflix, but it's not. So we virtually transport ourselves to the UK, and cheerio, we have Friends. Want to watch The Office in the US? You can't do it, so just teleport yourself to Canada, and you're done. My mom can now watch TV only available in Italy, here in the United States. NordVPN has over 5,500 secure servers all over the world, so you can surf the internet safely, watch live sports from wherever, and share NordVPN with up to 6 devices. This service literally costs less than a cup of coffee per month if you go to nordvpn.com/legit, use code LEGIT, or click on my link down below, and there's a 30-day money-back guarantee, so no risk at all. Go try it out, you won't be disappointed. All right, so first things first, we're gonna pull out these spark plugs, and I wanna fog the cylinders, and we're also gonna borescope, we're gonna compression test, we're gonna do everything to start this up for the first time properly. All right, we're gonna have many moments of truth here, Eli, but first spark plug. All right, so what kind of spark plug do we have? This is an Autolite. Yep, Autolite plug. Looks fairly fresh. Doesn't really look too bad. Obviously, we're expecting a little bit of rust over here, but so far so good. All right, this one looks pretty good too. I just found a spark plug wire where the insulation has come apart, so it might still fire. We'll see. We got extra spark plug wires if we need to replace them. All right, spark plug numero tres, or tre in Italian. Yeah. Looking pretty good.
We're Italian, so.
Yeah, we're Italian. We're going with tre. All right, final plug on this bank. This one might be a little bit fouled out, but overall, it's not smashed and destroyed. That's all we can ask for right now. All right, so we got to pull the plugs on this side as well. We have some fun EGR stuff in the way, right? But we got to remove this air intake first. Woo! All right.
It's in here.
Yeah, that's pretty typical. Aluminum corrosion after so many years. Okay. All right, let's take a look at this air filter. No,
not bad.
It's not bad. It's not bad. It's kind of coming apart. We got a new air filter anyway. There we go. A little frozen up here. This is pretty normal. I've seen this on aluminum after it's been sitting for a while. Just has a little bit of corrosion. We'll definitely clean that up.
These are original plug wires. It says 1987 right here.
Yeah, look at that. They have the date code on the plug wires. All right, so Eli just got the last spark plug out, and it looks pretty good. These are the other 3 he pulled, so I think we're good so far. All right, with all the spark plugs out, we can go ahead and borescope and see what we're dealing with, and I'm just hoping we don't see any water. Wow, that is nice. Look at that. It's so clean in here. You know, the carbon buildup on these port-injected engines is never really that bad, but look at the cross-hatchings in the cylinder. This is beautiful. This is probably the best one I've seen on one of these abandoned resurrection cars. I've done quite a few videos like this, and they usually look much worse. Look at that. So nice. All right, here we go, here we go. Another one. Wow. We'll look at them all, but this is looking really good. All right, next up, we're gonna be fogging out the engine with the AMSOIL engine fogging oil, and this does spray upside down. So all we're gonna do is get the little straw inside of the cylinder and fog it out. So this is obviously a great product to use if you're gonna have an engine sit around for a while. So a lot of people will use this in little 2-stroke engines, lawnmowers, and stuff like that. But obviously if you're gonna let a car or a boat engine sit around for a long time, this could make the difference between a good or a bad motor once you get it out of storage. Or after it sits rotting away for about 30 years and someone comes around and buys it for $2,500. If you guys have been watching the channel for a while, then you know what we have next. We're using the 100-year-old oil can that I found buried in my backyard, and we have a mixture of transmission fluid and normal engine oil, and we're gonna feed it into the cylinders with this tube.
So what exactly does transmission fluid do when you put it inside the cylinders of a car?
Well, that's a good question, young Eli. That's a very good question. So transmission fluid has detergents in it. So it basically acts as a cleaner, essentially, and a lubricant at the same time. So I mix that with oil, or you can run straight ATF as well, and it doesn't really matter what brand. You can get conventional, cheap stuff, whatever. All right, there we go. We're pumping in my little special concoction, and we're feeding a little bit into each cylinder. You don't need too much, especially if you've already fogged it out. And honestly, this is kind of overkill. We probably don't need this along with the fogging oil, but I do this on all the engines that have been sitting around for a while, and especially on one that looks as nice as the Mustang. We don't want to risk anything. All right, so while we're letting the fogging oil and my little concoction do its thing, we're gonna figure out a little bit of the fuel system here. So I'm pulling the feed line off of the rail, and that requires this little tool that slides in and releases a clip, and then in theory you just pull it out. The theory goes out the window after sitting for so long. All right, and then after you fight with this thing for a very long time, it starts to come out. There we go. Okay. Woo, we did it. So there's actually a spring in here is what it is. So there's a spring that sits inside of here, and you're pushing it out and out of the way with this tool. All right, so Eli picked up a new die-hard battery, so we'll leave this unconnected for now. We got a bunch of other stuff to do. I just got done testing out our auxiliary SVT Lightning fuel system. So before we hook that up, we gotta make sure this engine spins. So Eli, I'm gonna go ahead and let you do the honors.
Let's see.
You nervous?
A little bit.
A little bit. It looks good in there.
It
It's
looks
gonna turn.
good in
It's
there,
totally
so
gonna turn.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Like butter?
It goes, yeah.
Nice.
It feels good.
Oh, it's turning.
It turns, dude.
So easy. That is a victory, I gotta say. Every time an engine spins over for the first time in, 10 years, 20 years, 25. I think this is a record for the channel for a car that sat the longest, and we've tried to get it to start. But every time, it feels so good. All right, so we're gonna be hooking up power for the first time in 25 years. All right, let's do it.
It's not gonna hold it.
Little love tap there. Look at how long this is.
Yeah, I know.
All right, we're gonna have to figure out some routing for that gigantic power wire. Yeah, we're gonna need some new cable ends, whatever. That's fine for now. That's good. All right, so at this point, we're gonna turn the key on in the Mustang and see what comes alive. But I'm gonna hold this fuel line, the feed line, in this empty water bottle, because if there is any old fuel in the tank and the pump runs, which is kind of unlikely, we don't want all that old nasty fuel and potentially pieces of the fuel pump to end up in our fuel rail clogging the fuel injectors. So we're gonna see what comes out of the tank right in here if the pump works. So anyway, go for it, Eli. All right, whoa. Okay, it spins over, that's nice. We have no fuel pump activation whatsoever, which I kind of figured. All right, so at this point, we're gonna crank it over for about 3 seconds, kind of get all that oil moving around and some of it out of the cylinders. Go ahead. Huh. Nothing? Okay. We're having some starter issues, maybe. Starter relay issues. There we go. Okay, all right, cool.
So
It's good.
Seems like it has a sweet spot. But,
Okay, yeah, is there something going on with the ignition?
Yeah, so when you hold it all the way down, it doesn't want to like start.
Okay.
You know how we're getting that clicking? So when I do this, just for example, I'm not even holding it all the way, and it's...
Okay. Yeah, it
there
feels
could be something
flimsy.
wrong.
Something's going on there with the ignition.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever, as long as we can get it to
That's
crank.
yeah.
How does this make you feel?
It makes me feel great.
Your abandoned $2,500 5.0 Mustang is turning over. I mean, that's a good sign.
It's a great sign.
All right, so at this point, we're gonna hook up a compression gauge and see what this motor's got. All right, that was quick. Look at that, we're getting like 185. That's great. We're testing out the next cylinder. All right, over 200. Now we are doing a wet compression test, so these readings are gonna be a little bit higher because we have the oil in the cylinders, but as long as they are about even with each other, we know we're good. All right, third one, let's do this. Oh yeah, beautiful. All right, so I checked the last one on that one. It was at 185. And so now we are on this bank. Go ahead, Eli. All right. Good deal. We did the middle 2 cylinders. They were good as well. So we're on our last one. Eli, go for it. All right, cool. About 180. So the compression reading will depend on how long you crank it for. So you really want to keep that consistent, but we can already tell that if we crank it for about 4 seconds each one, we're getting about 185, which is perfect. This engine so far sounds amazing. It's got good compression. It had oil. I think we're going to be good. It doesn't have any fuel though. All right, we're getting pretty close to firing this thing up for the first time. But before we can do that, we need, you know, stuff that makes fire, which in this case are gonna be some Ngk Spark Plugs. All right, let's get these spark plugs in. We'll install all the spark plugs. We'll hold off on the wires for now, but we're definitely gonna change the oil before we try and crank this guy over. All right, I've got all the plugs done. We'll pop these spark plug wires back on, and they are clicking onto the plugs pretty nicely. You just wanna hear that click, and these should be good enough for what we're doing. Let's put it this way. This isn't what's gonna stop us from this engine running, that's for sure. All right, we've got all new plugs in on the passenger side bank as well. So we'll snap our 1987 spark plug wires back in. So crazy that they're this old and that they're labeled with the year. You don't really see that too often. Let's clean off a little of this corrosion. It's not really gonna affect too much because it's on the outside. So we can spend a little bit more time with this another day, but there we go. Yep. All right, it's oil change time. We're gonna jack this up, and I'm excited to see what it looks like underneath. You said it looks pretty good, right, Eli?
Oh, it looks really good.
We'll be the judge of that. You will be judged in the comment section, Eli.
Oh,
let me tell you.
I know.
You know about the comment section?
I know about the comment section.
I'm just kidding. I have some of the best commenters like on YouTube. I go to other channels, and it gets pretty brutal down there.
It's a little dirty.
Yeah, but we're like a no drama type of channel. We just get dirty fixing cars. That's about it. Yeah, go ahead and there we go. You can put it on. Look, yeah, I'm right under the control arm. That'd be good. All right, safety first, people. Safety first. I gotta say, this thing does look really nice. Look at these floors.
Clean.
Very clean, very clean. Factory catalytic converters. This thing is about as stock as they come. And let's see, the pinch welds, they look good. They're not all crushed up. This is a really nice car. $2,500. This is a 5-speed manual as well. Wow. All right, I guess it's not completely stock. It's got some Flowmaster mufflers, it looks like. Those are gonna sound good. Look at the condition here, guys. Wow. This thing is beautiful underneath. It's a little dirty, obviously, but overall, this car has excellent bones. Look at this engine is not leaking at all. Nothing. The transmission isn't leaking. That is crazy. Eli, you said how many miles are on this thing?
143,000.
You sure it's not 43,000?
It could be.
Yeah, I don't know, man. This is, I mean, just looking at the interior too, but everything else. This looks like a low mileage car that was simply abandoned. Fox Body guys, let me know down there, does this look like a 143,000 mile car or a 43,000 mile car? I mean, look at the interior. Look at this, look at the bolsters. I mean, obviously it's dirty, you gotta look past that, but it is very intact. The vinyl's not cracked at all. The grain looks beautiful. And obviously these things can be replaced, but look at the pedals. Usually at 143,000 miles, the pedals are all worn out. And the interior on these, obviously it's cheap Ford interior from the 80s. And typically these show their mileage, but the dash is in excellent condition. We have this little guy here, an air freshener that still kind of smells, oddly enough. And this is really cool. Look at this old school mobile alert system. So this is an old security system from the 80s or maybe early 90s. That's still in here. But yeah, it says 43,000 miles. Now, obviously that could be 143,000 because the odometer would not show anything past 100,000 back in the day. But I don't know. I don't know. Tell me what you think in the comment section. This interior does not look to have almost 150,000 miles. Not an 80s Ford interior. It would have been trashed. All right, time to change some 25-year-old oil. And thanks for putting that sway bar in the way, Ford. Very nice. That oil plug is, it's coming out. It doesn't look too hard to remove.
No.
Another moment of truth. Oh, it's nice and black. Excellent.
No milkshake.
No milkshake. That's great. All right, let's get this oil filter out of here. There we go. We have to be very careful that we don't get any oil in the driveway here. I have basically destroyed the driveway at my house by making YouTube videos mostly. But this is not ours. This is not our driveway. Yeah, no chocolate milkshake. This looks good. So the 5.0 has a second drain plug. So we'll see what we get out of this guy. There we go. That's what I'm talking about.
Nice.
Neither one of us decided to bring a funnel. So here we go. Don't drip on the exhaust. Oh,
come on.
I blame it on the Mobile One, all right? I would put AMS oil in it,
Hey,
Eli,
we're
all right?
going cheap for now, okay?
Yeah, I know.
I probably would have done the same thing.
Okay. There's a baffle in there. You can't go too fast. I should know this. One of my first cars was a 91 Grand Marquis with the old 5.0 in it. You just got to go kind of slow. All right. There we go. Fresh oil change, spark plugs. We got an air filter for it as well. At this point, we got to set up my SVT Lightning fuel system and see if it fires. All right, guys, here is our makeshift fuel system. So these are the fuel pumps out of my SVT Lightning. And I did something similar to this a couple of years ago with my friend John from Watch JR Go. We set up an auxiliary fuel system using a Clorox wipes container and a single fuel pump to get my abandoned lowrider Fiero to run before I dropped the tank and did a fuel pump. So basically the exact same situation as we have right now. But check it out, the Lightning has dual fuel pumps in it, and it's a pretty neat setup. So what we're using here is the factory plug, the factory harness, and then I just built a couple of leads here to plug into one of the power wires and one of the ground wires because we're only gonna use one of the pumps for this. All right, so we'll fill this up just a little bit. We don't need a lot. Okay, there we go. All right, so here's what we got to do. We pulled that fuel line out of here, so now we need to connect a hose and run our fuel from the fuel pump into the fuel rail to pressurize it. All right, so I have a gigantic hose that will fit over this. So we're just gonna slide it on, and then we'll just tighten up the clamp like so. All right, so the next part's a little bit tricky because we had to use such a large hose on this fuel rail. It's just kind of got a weird end to it. So what we need to do, we need this hose to taper down to the size of this hose in order to fit over our SVT Lightning fuel pump. So what I've brought is just a little tiny piece of pipe to reinforce this hose, and we're gonna slide it in, just like that. All right, at this point, we're gonna add a hose clamp to this end, and then we're gonna slide this end of the hose with the pipe in it, right there, and now we can clamp down on it. So the reason we have the pipe in there is because if I just stick a hose inside of a hose and clamp it down, we're gonna pinch it off and fuel won't flow. So that's acting as kind of a stint or a support, if you will. All right, it's good. All right, we're gonna go ahead and install a new air filter. All right, and now Eli is installing our factory air intake, which is kind of a factory cold air intake. It gets its air from the fender. That works. Yeah. All right, now we're just gonna hook up this hose to the feed line off the fuel pump. Tighten the clamp down, and our fuel system is almost done. All right, so we just have to finish up the wiring for this. I'm just gonna add a couple little spade connectors, and we'll crimp them down. All right, guys, fair warning here. I don't recommend anyone does this at home. I'm a trained professional in a closed course environment. All right, so what we're gonna do here is we are gonna connect the positive from our jumper pack to the positive on the fuel pump, just like so. And we're gonna put it right there. Then we're gonna connect the negative like that, and we're gonna put it right there. Now at this point, this should work. Oh yeah. So you can hear the fuel pump running. So we are pressurizing. Oh, and it already sucked it all in. Wow. All right. So it sucked up all of the fuel that's in the rail now. Yeah, we need more fuel. All right, so we got to fill her back up. She is a thirsty 5.0. That is for sure. And let's see. There we go. And it's sucking it down. It's sucking it way down. We got any leaks here? No leaks. All right, at this point, I'm gonna have you crank it. And just keep cranking it, obviously, until it fires, and then I'll have the fuel pump kicked on. All right, here we go, guys. Here goes nothing. Don't do this at home. This is a bad idea. I'm just kidding. This works all the time. Whenever you're ready, as soon as he starts cranking, turn on the fuel pump. Woo! Keep going, keep going, keep going. Well, it fired for a second. We got a little smoke out of the tailpipe. It ran for a second, dude. We need more fuel. All right, we just filled this up some more. All right, try it again. Woo! Almost there, dude. Keep going. Oh, this is awesome. It is sucking fuel down, though. I think it's all just returning. I don't have the return line blocked off. So I think we should probably try and do that. All right, so that is the fuel return line, and I have clamped it off, so we should be good now with keeping fuel pressure in the rail. All right, with that, we'll try this again. Go ahead. Man, it is blasting this fuel in there. Even with the return blocked off, it's just eating this fuel alive as soon as I flip the switch. And we have no leaks whatsoever. I mean, it's going in the fuel rail. All right, guys, so I just pulled this line off here because it is still sucking our little fuel system dry like within seconds. So I'm trying to figure out where this fuel is going. I am almost certain that this is the feed right here and that this is the return, and this is the line that we have blocked down there now. So anyway, go ahead, Eli, flip that switch for like half a second. All right, that's good. Okay, so we have fuel coming out of here. I'm going to put my finger here now, and this is a very scientific experiment. I want to see now if the fuel in our little tank goes down just as quickly. All right, I got Eli plugging up that hole right now with his finger. So I'm gonna go ahead and flip this switch, and we'll see what happens here. No? Too much pressure? All right, so basically our fuel is returning right to the tank, and there's a ton of pressure in the rail, and we can't block it off right there. I mean, I blocked it off down below, but it's possible it's not fully blocked.
A good detail and a good wax job and a good everything would look like beautiful.
Like brand new, right?
Like brand new.
All right, we're almost there. All right, guys, we're not really getting anywhere with the fuel system. No matter what I do, I have the return blocked off. It just keeps on dumping all the fuel probably back in the tank. I'm not 100% sure what's going on here. So it does run to a certain extent, but I want to see it run for a little bit longer. So we are resorting to some starting fluid. Woo! Little backfire. That's why we don't prefer to use starting fluid. It's a little dangerous. Do it again. All right, yeah, it's not wanting to fire right now. This could be an ignition issue. It's possible that's why he put this thing away. It stopped running well because it will fire to a certain extent and run for a little while. But I wonder if there are some ignition issues going on here. I mean, we know the wires are a little bit compromised on the insulation, but even if a couple of cylinders don't have good spark plug wires, it'll still run. And right now we're taking the entire car's fuel system out of the loop. So the injectors that are probably clogged up and dirty at this point and all that stuff, we're not using those. We're using starting fluid. So yeah, so I think I'm gonna take a look at the distributor really quick. Well, the distributor is not spinning or anything, so it is bolted in. So yeah, I mean, really old wires, a lot of them are compromised. But let's get this cap off and see what's going on with the rotor. All right, so right now I've pulled the wire off of the coil. I just wanna see if the coil is working. So we have an old spark plug. And go ahead and crank it. We'll see if this arcs. Yep, we're good there. We got really strong spark coming from the coil, so that's good. All right, so now we'll see what's going on here at one of the spark plugs. Go ahead. Ow, ow, ow. Okay, got shocked there. All right, I got shocked there. We got good spark. We're good to go. That'll wake you up. Felt good. It felt good. I feel rejuvenated. Let's get this thing going. All right, so we got good spark, but I still want to pop this off and see what's going on in here. See if we can maybe find signs that someone was messing around with the timing. Yeah, I could definitely use a new cap and rotor, but you know, it's getting spark. It's good enough for right now to work. It should work. All right, we're gonna give it another try with the starting fluid. It runs. All right, this engine does run. Let's do that again. A little bit more throttle. I think maybe the starting fluid was puddling in there. Some intake manifolds don't really do well with starting fluid and it'll puddle up. So I think we just need to crack that throttle blade open quite a bit more. Oh, okay, stop. All right, we are definitely done with this starting fluid. This is not good. Okay. All right, guys, so it will start. It backfires with starting fluid, which is kind of typical sometimes, but it will start for a little bit. We've gotten it to run for like 1 or 2 seconds, and I guess my fuel system is just blasting right back to the tank. I don't think I have the fuel return line blocked enough, but I think at this point, we're just gonna drop the tank and do a fuel pump. The fuel pump relay is definitely clicking. Okay. All right, so I'm just going over all my electrical checks here. So we're just gonna check the control side of the relay, which seems to be working, but I just wanna see a number on here. All right, we got battery voltage there. So now I'm gonna check the circuit that would send power to the fuel pump once the relay closes, and we have battery voltage as well. So electronically up here, it seems good. All right, so now we're just going to jump this fuel pump, see if we hear anything. I don't hear anything at all. Yeah, we gotta have a dead fuel pump. That's what we got in here. Ooh, that is crispy. That is gross. Oh wow, look at that. That's gotta be the nastiest fuel cap I've ever seen. Great. Woo! Yeah. Yeah, that's varnish. This fuel is bad. It looks like we have 410s from the inside. Oh yeah. All right, so we got to disconnect these lines. I've been playing with this one forever, and I either broke something or it's about to come. One of the two. Yeah. There we go. All right, this was supposed to be the easier one, and I may have mangled this little plastic thing here. There we go. Yeah, that's in pretty good shape still. So now this should slide off. I'll move my head out of the way. Okay, all right, cool. We got both lines disconnected, great. At this point, we just have a couple of tank strap bolts. So we're gonna place a jack, and we forgot a piece of wood, so we're using a plastic box here to kind of even out the weight. So that's good there. So many spiders. So many spiders. All right, here we go. We're gonna hang up on the fuel neck a little. Or a lot. Okay, there we go. Whoa. Watch out.
There's fuel in there, watch out.
All right, I thought this tank was empty. We stuck a siphon tube in there and it didn't do anything. And it's been 25 years, but it is not empty. It's got a lot of varnishy, really smelly fuel. All right, so this is a vent right here. So the part is still in the car. This is the fuel pump, and that is the fuel sending unit. All right. Yes. That is old fuel, people. That is 25-year-old fuel. It smells so bad. Now we just gotta hope that the fuel tank is not rusted. Luckily, we're right by an auto repair shop, so we can dispose of the fuel properly. Totally normal to do in the middle of a parking lot, yep. All right, so we'll pull this connector off. Look at that, look at this 1980s dielectric grease, still rocking. Good job, Ford. And we just gotta give this ring a little twisteroo, like that. There we go. All right, here she comes. Oh, yes. Yeah. That's probably why it didn't start. Look at that. That is crusty. Okay. All right, so here is the inside of our fuel tank. Yeah, it's not looking the best. Luckily, this is a very easy tank to remove, but we got to get that sock filter out of there. Look at it. It's down there. It's stuck.
You look like a monkey poking around for bugs in a log.
I am a monkey. A grease monkey. Gas monkey right now. Alright. There is part of the strainer. There we go. There's the complete strainer. Got it. There's still a little bit more fuel left in here.
Oh yeah, look at all that.
Alright, so we have a little bit of fresh fuel, and basically this tank would either need to be replaced or cleaned out. It's not that far gone though. It's really not rusted, luckily, because it was filled with fuel, so that kind of protected it in a sense. I'm not really sure how much a stock Fox body tank costs, but if it was like $200 or $300, I would just replace it. Otherwise, this could be clean, just not in the middle of a random parking lot. So we're gonna do what we can right now just to get this going. We just gotta give it the old fuel tank shimmy. Oh yeah. Hey, it's getting better. Getting much better. All right, so this is what we're working with, people. It's, you know, it's dirty. It's 25 years. What do you want? But we're gonna do a few more flushes just to get some of the heavier particles out. And that's it for now. Oh, and if you think this looks bad, take a look at what I found in the fuel tank of my abandoned lowrider Fiero a couple of years ago. It was much worse. Now, let's just clean this up a little bit so I get a good sealing surface. Oh yeah, nice and clean. All right, we have our new pump going in. This is a Delphi pump. And I believe the one we took out is a Ford Motorcraft pump. Could it have been original? I don't know. Maybe. All right, so I gotta make it inside of that little trough right there. You guys get an inside view. It's pretty cool. Okay, I missed right there. All right.
It's an arcade game.
It is an arcade game.
And you're really bad at it.
I am really bad. I need to get my kids over here. Hold on a second. Do I need to do a little twist? Okay. Now you twist it. Aha. I did it. I'm a professional. All right, we got this new little rubber seal right there. Push that guy down, and we'll give this a little love tap. All right. We're reusing this awesome Ford dielectric grease. No reason to change it up. They had it right in the 80s. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you replace a Fox body fuel pump in the middle of a parking lot without getting any fuel on you or anywhere else at all. Looks like this is a Ford pump. It's got the little Ford oval right there. The hose clamp also says Ford USA. And look at what happens to these hoses. Wow. We gotta replace this old fuel filter as well. This Fox body's getting a full tune-up. Well, except for spark plug wires, cap and rotor. But spark plugs, fuel filter, air filter, oil change. We're doing you right, Fox body. Ford Motorcraft fuel filter. I mean, it doesn't have to be original, right? But yeah, could be. All right, we're going back only with the good stuff. Motorcraft. Lasted this long. And I even got new clips for all these fuel lines. It's much easier now that it has no fuel. We can't forget the plastic cover that goes on as well. And guys, look at how clean this thing is underneath. Lots of spider webs, but very, very clean. And pretty rust free as well. A lot of surface rust and stuff like that, but nothing structural at all. And yeah, it's got a U-Haul hitch on it. So there's that.
You can do it. You can do it. Ow. Yeah. All right.
You did it. All right, it's filler neck time.
All right, push it my way. Come on. All right, we're in.
We're in?
Yep.
All right, get the plastic shield. Next.
Okay. All right.
We got the black lung there, Peter.
God bless us, everyone.
Oh my God. I'm gonna wear safety glasses,
Oh my gosh.
like us.
Do you feel like Mission Impossible?
Da-na-na-na-na. Is that the song?
Oh
yeah. Sorry, I kind of forgot the song. So you want to start everything by hand before you use the gun. See? I did it.
I like your safety squid.
I did it. Yep. Safety glasses.
Do you have eyeliner or is that dirt?
That is eyeliner. And we'll get this guy on too. All right, new clip there. Yeah, wouldn't be an old car without a honeycomb in there. Okay, wow.
Honeycomb and where?
Yeah. Roadside assistance. I'm here to help. Yeah, let's fill her up. If only it just needed gas to begin with, that'd be sweet. Putting like 12, 13 bucks worth of premium. This is premium, right, Eli?
It's 87.
It's 87?
Yeah.
Oh, man, come on.
You can't have premium yet.
Cheapskate. It's a 5.0, dude. It needs premium. Actually, it probably doesn't need premium at all. All right, we got to go back together with this gas cap. We don't want to get a check engine light or anything like that. Still clicks.
It is an artifact. What are you, Indiana Jones?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. All right, Eli, whenever you're ready. All right, I like it. Come on, baby. Yes! Yes, yes, yes! Keep going. That engine runs, all right? That engine runs right now. That's the longest we've gotten it.
Yeah,
That's
alive.
Let's see, we got fuel? Yeah. Oh, we got fuel. We got fuel. All right. All right, we had to hook up another jumper because the battery's dying, but we have fuel. This thing should run. The injectors are probably clogged to a certain extent, but it's a Ford. It should be fine. that was a little weird. It's alive! It's alive! We did it! First start in 25 years. Oh! Okay, that sounded weird, but it's running.
No, it only runs when the starter's engaged.
Okay, it only runs when the starter's engaged. I thought it sounded a little weird there, but it does run nonetheless. And I have a feeling that has to do with the ignition. Check out this ignition. Okay, so you turn it, we got the clutch in and everything, nothing.
way.
You gotta back off a little, and then it'll run. All right, let go, let go. But it'll die as soon as you let off of there because the ignition is completely disconnected as soon as you go back to its natural position. All right, we're taking this apart, see what we can see if we can fix this. No. Yeah, as soon as you go back to its natural position after it would fire, it just kills all power to the car, basically.
Is that probably why they set?
I mean, who knows, man?
I mean, everything else works.
Right.
I mean, the fuel pump.
The fuel pump probably just went bad from sitting.
I'm sitting, yeah. And
But-
a full tank of gas in it.
Yeah, maybe they couldn't figure out this ignition issue. Possible. All right, we got this other part back, and watch this.
Oh,
If I just plug
Oh.
that in,
look at this. This is
No way.
That's
what is it?
like a zip tie.
They zip tied
it
this?
together. Watch. Oh, hold on.
Okay, yeah.
I can get
I'll
that.
hold it. This is awesome. Look at this. So if I pull this out, we don't hear the bing, bing, bing. That's the whole problem right there. This connector is just not pushed in all the way. All right, I got the connector in.
Yes. It's idling so nice.
Dude, this runs like brand new.
Wow.
There's no smoke out of the exhaust. No way. All right, the little rust pieces coming out of the exhaust there. Get out. It sounds perfect.
Yeah.
You just gotta hold the connector in for the ignition. That's all. I mean, it needed the fuel pump, obviously, but wow, I can't believe how well these injectors are working right now. Hold on, we lost connection. All right, you got 14 volts ready. Sounds like the relay for the starter is doing something weird. Try it again. Oh, there we go. All right, we're back. Hold on, you gotta hear this thing. I can't believe how well these injectors are firing. Look at this, right off idle. No stumbling, no nothing. We spilled a little bit of oil down there, so that's nothing. It's just burning off and whatever else has been sitting on the exhaust for so long, but wow. Eli, get off your phone, dude. Who are you telling about this? What do you think, man?
Dude, this is awesome. Oh my gosh.
I can't believe it, man.
I can't believe it's running this good.
Yeah, we just gotta secure that connection for the ignition, and yeah, we're good. We have a lot more to do though.
Yeah.
We can't just drive it right now. We gotta check the coolant because I don't know if it even has any really. Yeah, so we can't just take off right away just yet. We know the engine is good. You know, we have new oil in it and everything. I wouldn't mind doing another oil change. And we gotta take a look at the cooling system next, but dude, congrats, man.
Thank you, thank you.
All right, guys, that will do it for today's video. In the next one, we're gonna go for the first drive in this car, I hope. We got a lot to look over, the differential, the cooling system. We're doing this right because this is a great car. I mean, it runs good, it's worth it. So we'll do a first drive, and then of course, we're gonna be doing a first wash and detail and everything. We're gonna try and bring this thing back to life. And you want to daily it, right?
I want to daily it.
All right, he wants to daily it like sooner than later because he's driving a 3rd generation Eclipse. That's his sister's, and it's not, those aren't really real Eclipses.
No.
I mean, let's just be honest. The 6 cylinders, front wheel drive, that just can't happen, Eli.
not real.
So anyway, if you guys enjoyed this video, give it a big thumbs up, share the video with your friends, subscribe if you haven't already, and most importantly, have an awesome day. I'll catch all of you in the next video.